Well, Gary, first off, how are the bodies all looking going into the weekend?
Yeah, good from our point of view. And that we had a behind closed doors game on Monday, and got some good minutes into quite a few of them, and they've all come through. Touch wood, with no complaints whatsoever. Adam Henley's returned to training as well. So Adam, Shane McCart and Callum Cook got more minutes into him. Remy got more minutes into him as well. So from an injury point of view, realistically, I think there's just obviously Joe Riley, Jamie Devitt, who we'll know a bit more later on in the week, and Jake Reeves. But Jake's doing ever so well as well. He's out every day now, so he's going in the right direction as well. I think that's about it for us, which is good at this moment in time.
On the couple of bodies you've mentioned there, Adam Henley in particular, what's the realistic chance of them being back for Walsall?
Yeah, no, Adam's only missed a couple of weeks, so he's done all the pre-season. It was unfortunate the way it happened in terms of just slipping at Stevenage and just opening it up. He's trained today. We'll see how he goes again tomorrow, but he's had a full week's training with bodies this week, so he comes into contention for Saturday's selection for sure.
How important is it to have him back that frees up Connor Wood to probably play in his more preferred position? Is that fair to say?
No, I think Connor's, he's done great for us, and last week was a great example of that, key moment in the game where they break on us, and he finds himself, faced with two players, and he does brilliant with it in his defending, and that's an area of the game that he's working hard on, and it's an area of the game that he proves on. But obviously, he has great strengths in terms of going forward and delivering some wonderful balls into the box. And sometimes coming from left back, it's sometimes easier to do that.
Just on that behind closed doors game,
yeah.
How nice has it been this week? It's probably the first clear week you've had since you took over that you've probably been able to take a breath, not been trying to sign players, not been battling relegation, and you can think, we've got a week to prepare for a game.
It's been really noticeable for sure, because the phone's been brilliant. It's been very quiet. I think I've only had maybe 1-2 agents ring this week, but it does, you don't realise until it actually happens. You're aware of how frantic it is in the window, but this has probably been the first week where it's been calm, and it's been nice, to be perfectly honest with you, to focus on the football.
And in terms of getting the players up to speed, the new signings that probably only arrived very late last week, how's that been? Yeah,
good. Like I say, the game was brilliant. It served a purpose for us, and there's some interesting performances out there from them, but the main aim was obviously getting those minutes in their legs. And Remy scored 2, Callum Cook scored, we've got Jack Senior just training with us at the moment, he scored as well, so there's real positives from it as well.
Good few days on from it now, but now you've had a chance to reflect. How would you assess that game against Northampton Town?
I thought, my opinion hasn't changed on it. We were very good. Second half especially, we were disappointed with the manner of the goal. We wanted to increase the intensity, and again, we showed the character and the fight that these players have got, because we kept going right till the end. Personally, I thought the previous 2 games that we'd lost, we were still charging around trying to get an equaliser against Forest Green, and we did, and got disallowed. But then last week at Crewe, we have Powdy's chance right at the death to equalise again, and that's a great strength to have in the group, and the players certainly possess that.
How much is that a big element of the team, that you're starting to see your imprint scrapping all the way to the end of the match like that?
Massive. It's one of the first things that we spoke about, that we play the whole game. We don't just, no matter what the scoreline is, we only play for so many minutes. We play the whole game, and we keep going to the end, win, lose or draw. And we've certainly seen that in these opening games, and it's a great, great quality to have, and something that when they get the rewards like they did last week, it just builds that belief in it that they have, that they can keep going, the fitness levels that they've got to keep fighting, and with that belief that they can go and get something from the game.
Still very early season.
Very early season.
League table and things like that. If you do win at the weekend, it's already so congested at the top. How much do you think about trying to keep pace with the other teams, even very early?
I just concentrate on us, to be perfectly honest, and what we're about, and just focus on. Obviously, this weekend is Walsall, and then once the Walsall game's out of the way, it's to then just concentrate on the Cheltenham game. You can't get ahead of yourselves. Like I say, experiences that I've been through myself. We got promoted out of this league. Again, we didn't really pay any particular attention to the league tables until the back end of the season, when you'd start to look at it a little bit more then.
Are Walsall kind of an example of how difficult it can be to adjust to a new league compared to how you guys have in this opening sort of month and a half of the season?
No, I think what they are is a team that obviously came down like ourselves, and have gone through a rebuilding with a new manager, and that's what they are. And they've got some good players. They recruited well, and we know it's going to be a challenge for us on Saturday. But we go into the game full of confidence, and again, that word belief on the back of what we did against Northampton.
And you mentioned Cheltenham on Tuesday after the Walsall game. How much time do you get to build for that one when you've got all that travelling as well?
What do you mean in terms of build?
Well, plan for that one. Have you had to do some of it this week?
Yeah, we will do. We've obviously done our work now for Walsall. We just finished that off tomorrow, but already, I've looked at Cheltenham's teams the last couple of games, and we'll watch the games that they've played in as well over the next couple of days. And obviously, once this Walsall game, as you put all your attention into it, Saturday evenings and Sunday, then it becomes all about Cheltenham.
And something that's been noticeable the last couple of home games anyway is players losing their footing. Is that something that concerns you?
Yeah, well, it's certainly something that we've obviously mentioned to the players about the choice of footwear and that, but the comeback is obviously that they've all been wearing studs, and so I think that it's probably sometimes you go to certain grounds and there's a bedding in process for the pitch. I think with that big stand that we have as well, I think sometimes you can get it being beautiful sunshine, and then the second half it's possibly in shade. But yeah, it's something that I've certainly been aware of.
Cheers.
So about obviously that very early league tables, presumably they're not getting fixated about it like some people can do. Presumably, after experience with Blackpool, it probably makes it easier, doesn't it, by the fact that...
For me it does, yeah.
Bobbing around mid-table for much of the season, weren't
they? No, exactly, but so if you're asking me what I would prefer, I'd prefer for us to be as high as we possibly can. That's the human nature. But it was more a case of us focusing on the processes of how we play with the ball and how we play without the ball, and then obviously, over a period of time, the result takes care of itself, as they say.
So I think there's more than 24/7 coverage everywhere. I think people just look at league tables and they're constantly on the telly, aren't they? And it's one of them where...
Yeah, there's nothing else to say to that, is there? It's just the world that we live in now.
And you mentioned Jamie Devitt, obviously.
Yeah.
9 days ago, the Bolton game. I mean, the fact you're still looking at it, is that something worrying?
Oh no! Listen, from our point of view, it's been a massive blow to us, and obviously to the lad himself. I think by the end of this week, we certainly have more information on sort of like a length of time that he could possibly be out for. But initially, for the next couple of weeks, he's certainly. Not in coming under consideration, which is a shame.
Is it his hamstring?
Hamstring, yeah. Oh, yeah. And just the innocuous way that he did it, there was nobody around him. He tried to just pass the ball out wide. But it's been like I say, it's been a blow for the lad. But we're here to support him and help him through it, because he's very committed. He's already been speaking with me about the conversations that we have of, I want to get back as soon as possible, however long it takes, and whatever I need to do, I'll go do it. And he settled in very quickly. I know he was here years and years ago, but he settled into the group very quickly, and he's got good knowledge. He has a good input. I like the lad as well.
The way you're talking there, obviously, without a time limit, does suggest that it might be a bit longer than, yeah.
It really is, I'm afraid. Heads or tails, when we'll, like I say, but probably now it's, like you said, 9 days, it settles down more, so by the end of the week we'll have a clearer indication of, you know, what's going to be coming.
So it's frustrating because you're getting all the new signings sort of bedded in now, and they're all getting into the sort of part of the group and getting this up, and then you.
Yeah, it's part and parcel, I'm afraid. You know, Dev knows that himself, but it's a case of now, like you say, just putting a plan together for him to nurse him back and get him back ready to make an impact, as what he initially did when, you know, first started against Crewe with his a fantastic shot, and he'll play a massive part for us throughout the course of the rest of this season.
Obviously, you mentioned Jake Reeves. Asking regularly about him. I mean,
you haven't asked me for a couple of weeks.
I was going to say,
I was a bit worried.
I mean, you know, it's one of those things where it's been so long for him, and you know, people ask him like that. But can you can you sense he's getting to the light at the end of the tunnel?
I think so. I think that you know, he sees that he's making progression now, and he's happy with how it's been going. We, like I said all along from day one when I first in there's no pressure from me to put a time frame on it for him for the length of time that the lad's been out. You know, we just keep going. There's a plan in place over the next sort of like week or two for him just to increase what he's been doing again, and then that's what we have to do, is take it step by step, tick that week off and make sure that he's going the right way, and manage him and look after him. But he's a great lad to have around the place. He's got great knowledge of the game, and he's influenced people, obviously, for supporters and what have you won't see that, but you know, he has conversations with Danny Devine and helps him through and talks to the midfielders. He's there in and around the dressing room, and you know, he's fantastic now for us, but when he comes back fit as well, you know, he's going to add something to the squad, which is great.
I think people saw pictures from the team photos the other day and sort of seeing Jake around, in and around the place, and sort of hoping that means that.
Yeah, definitely. Just little things like that will give him a little lift as well, and a little buzz, you know, putting the kit back on, and you know, he's just gradually just increasing it day by day and going ever so well for him at this moment in time. But there's no pressure from us on or anything like that because of what he's been through, poor lad.
Obviously, it sounds a bit of a pack question, but you're confident that at some point this season, all being well.
Oh, listen, when he's ready, he's ready. Well, when that is, like I said, we won't put a time frame on that. Once he gets into the next stage, and then obviously he then has to join the rest of the group, and then once he's ticked that off for a bit, then we'll schedule games in, but he's not going to be playing 45 minutes and then going straight into the squad for the following week, that's for sure. You know, I'm going to look after him.
Very quickly, George Sykes-Kenworthy coming back from Guiseley.
Yes.
What was the thinking behind that?
Well, quite honestly, we were delighted with him going out on loan, because I think especially young goalkeepers, they need to be playing games, and the arrangement that obviously that we had with Guiseley. But with the window coming, they rang me and they said, look, if you had an injury to one of your goalkeepers, would you recall him? I could have lied, but I wasn't going to be lying, and I was upfront and honest with them. And then obviously they went and signed another goalkeeper, which I totally understand. What we have noticed in that month that he's been away is the improvement that he's made, and John Vaughan's happy with him, the progress that he's made, and from our point of view, it's a win-win, because he's had a month of games now, and John saw areas that he could develop if he had more training time with him. So that's happened, and you know, he came on for a period on Monday, looked very calm with the ball at his feet. He's very good playing out from the back. Spilt one or two crosses, but that's, like I say, that's all part of the game for the younger goalkeepers especially. And you know, we want him to be pushing the rest of them now, in terms of Richard and Sam. And you know, Richard's started that season like a house on fire with his performances. So you know, George is there in and amongst it, learning off them as well. And you know, we're happy with the progress that he's been making.
I don't know, the non-league window, is there an opportunity to go back?
Possibly, yeah, it is. It's just picking the right time, because obviously, you know, we're now hitting a spell of Saturday, Tuesday for the next couple of weeks, and if I'm not mistaken, the rule is your first 28 days you can't recall him, but then once he's been there after 28 days you can recall him. So that's where we're at with him a little bit. So it'll be just carefully monitoring that as we go.